Hi, so I'm right at the ocean. Just took a jog down one of the piers, and it's chilly. The wind's got some bite to it, but it's beautiful and dry, and I'm enjoying just the feel and the energy of the ocean. I've had a very busy few days. A friend came to visit, and we did many touristy things. The first one being the literary pub crawl that leaves from the Duke. It takes you to 4 different pubs, and you have time to get down a pint, and then you're on your way again, and they do little skits and readings along the way.
Says my L1 to your L1, will we go to the Waxy's Dargle? Says your L1 to my L1, I haven't got a farthing. I went up to Monto Town to see young Kip McCardle, but he wouldn't give me half a crown to go to the Waxy's Dargle. What'll you have?
I'll have a pint.
I'll have a pint with you, sir, and if one of us doesn't order soon, we'll be thrown out of the boozer. Says your L1 to my L1, we have no beef or mutton, but if we go to Monto Town, we might get a drink for nothing. Here's a piece of good advice I got from an old fishmonger. When your food is scarce, and you see the hearse, you know you've died of hunger. So what'll you have?
I'll have a pint.
I'll have a pint with you, sir, and if one of us doesn't order soon, we'll be thrown out of the boozer.
And including a stop at Trinity College. So that was pretty cool. That was Friday night. And then, what was Saturday? First thing on Saturday, we went to the National Art Gallery, which is located downtown Dublin. It was beautiful. There were so many pieces of art, a lot of local art, and I really enjoyed that. After that, we had a stop for a pint and lunch and continued on our touristing. We headed to the Jeannie Johnston, which is a boat, a replica of a boat that used to be used for immigration, mainly to Quebec and Boston. So we got some interesting shots of the ship, and also heard a little bit of the history of Ireland, the potato famine, and the immigration across the ocean.
When you think of the immigrants that left here during the famine, they were already leaving pretty bad conditions behind them. What they experienced on board the ships didn't turn out to be much better, and you generally tend to think of that suffering, but not so much about what happened to them once they got to the other side, how they managed to make it ahead of themselves, the few that did manage to make it very, very successfully. Because they struggled, in the first and the second generations, they struggled really, really badly to either integrate or become accepted into North American society.
Our next stop was Dublina, and the Christchurch Cathedral, where we got to see a little bit of how Ireland and Dublin came to be, with Vikings coming in and building an interesting fort around the center of Dublin and setting up a lot of different aspects that are still around today. That was Saturday, and of course we met up later and had a few more pints, because, well, we're in Ireland, and therefore it is required that we drink. On Sunday we had a whirlwind of more drinking, where we went to the Jameson distillery, where I am officially a whiskey taster.
I told you, you can drink the whiskey you've taken from the bar if you're thirsty. But don't drink the whiskies on the mat just yet. Right, guys, what's going to happen? Please take the Jameson and have a smell of Jameson. Now, if you have a good nose, there are hints of vanilla. A very, very good nose, vanilla and honey. Everybody have a little sip, a little sip. Now, Jameson, by its very nature, should be smooth. It has been distilled 3 times. That is the biggest selling Irish whiskey in the world. Something we are incredibly proud of. Pretty good, pretty smooth, pretty much the greatest whiskey you have ever had. That is so kind. Now, for some of you, this now smells a whole lot like college. Have a little sip, of course, and there's a big difference in taste. Oh yeah. So, take the Johnny Walker Black, have a smell. You should now be smelling the peat, the smoke, the turf, the fire coming through. All to do with the malting process. Guys, have a little sip. Should I be getting the people who smoke the turf for the taste coming through? Guys, Scottish whiskey are Scotch. By the way, guys, Scotch. Scotch is short for Scottish whiskey. Scottish whiskey is a legal term. It must be distilled and matured in Scotland. You now have a decision to make. Of the 3 whiskies, I want you to pick one of them your favorite. So please, 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 feel free to pick any of the 3. It's whatever your favorite is, go for it and push it forward. Guys, go for it. The fact that you're sitting in the Jameson bar, in the Jameson distillery, where John Jameson worked himself to death to make this, of course, should have no influence on you whatsoever. Now then, we've got Jameson, 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 and Jameson. Wow! I'm not kidding. For the first time in about 5 weeks, I've got 8 correct answers. For that alone, everybody here deserves a round of applause.
And got to try 3 different whiskeys, and definitely chose Jameson as being the one I preferred, mainly because of its clean taste. And finally we went to the Guinness Storehouse, where we got to drink straight from the Guinness teat, and that was wonderful, and lots of interesting things to see there as well. So that's it so far. I will keep you updated, but here from the Irish Sea, I will bid you goodbye. Bye! Ciao.